Well, welcome and to Coffee Time. It's great to have you here. I don't think we've had you on before. If so, then I apologise. But yeah, welcome.
Apology accepted, Paul. Apologies.
How's things?
Things are great. Things are good. It's always awesome coming back and being part of this team. And, being a new mom, that's super exciting. It is a journey in itself.
And I think we all got the memo to wear black today, right? And there's no reason why we had to wear black, but we've just wore black today. But the memo is out is one of the main reasons why you're here is to talk about our leadership development programs. I think what would be great for our Flockan is if you shared what leadership development programs we offer here at BGO, and maybe even the kind of story behind that as well in terms of the evolution.
Wow, okay. I think there's a lot of leadership development programs that we offer within the organization. One, obviously, that's more near and dear is Birds of a Feather, or what you might know as the coaching framework. That's really essentially just a structured approach to coaching. It provides that partnership, creates the awareness, the accountability. It really dives into the hows and the whys for leaders and provides that support. But more importantly, it creates a commitment, a partnership, a two-way street, right? When we're talking about what other programs, I think we've done a lot of different workshops in the past. Super excited to see those workshops coming in the future as well. There's different workday learnings. Super exciting right now. We're actually in the midst of looking at the implementation of a leadership development committee. So for those of you who haven't heard about that, stay tuned because there's a lot of exciting things coming, and that committee in itself is really going to offer that additional layer of support for everybody within the organization. And I think the biggest piece there is consistency. Despite where you are within the organization, there's going to be that level of support and consistency.
So, and you've been with the organization quite a long time, over 15 years with us. And I'd love for you to kind of walk us through what the leadership development journey has been over the course of those years and where you see it going in the future.
I think one great thing about the organization is that there's always been a leadership development in place. And I think the organization really embraces, knowledge sharing and understanding that we're always constantly willing to grow, and kind of making sure that there's enhancements there.
Is there any particular strategies or activities that will, facilitate that interaction and knowledge sharing among those participants that will help us evolve any of our internal program?
So I think when we're thinking about strategies, I would say that we've evolved more in the fact that we are more diverse in understanding that everyone has a different learning technique. So we embrace a lot more of the technology and modules that way. So if I'm understanding the question correctly, I think the strategy is more to ensure that we're adapting to our audiences. So there's always a time and a place for e-learning, but then there's also a time and a place for those one-to-one interactions, that mentorship, those workshops. I'll tell you personally, for me, sitting down, reading an e-learning or a book or something like that, I've always struggled with. When you put me in a group setting, I learn a lot more. Sometimes people are going to ask a question that somebody might have thought of, maybe was a little bit too shy to ask, and you get your answer there. But I think the strategy really is to just embrace the diversity of the group and understand what the audience is and target that type of learning. Understand that everybody learns different. It's not a one size fits all. So we have to make sure that we're pivoting within that right direction within the organization, depending, like I said, on what we're learning.
Absolutely. It's the blended approach, right? I think that's what we're looking at, and that's the flexibility that we have, whether it's e-learning, whether it's the on-the-job piece, whether it's Bill Nav. So yeah, excited to see, obviously see the launch on that.
So you've touched on the leadership development committee. I know you've been a part of this journey, working in partnership with myself and really onboarding me into understanding the coaching culture when I started with Bill Gosling 4 short years ago. But as you've seen kind of the evolution, this is to piggyback off my earlier question. And we've had the leader learning program, and we have the coaching framework, and now you've talked about the leadership development committee. What are some of the things that excite you the most about the leadership development committee, and what is really going to be demonstrating that supportive and collaborative learning environment for our Goslings?
Yeah, I think the committee in itself is what excites me the most. This is something that, has been kind of a wish for a long time, and having that consistent approach. And I know I keep using that word consistent because that's really critical. Like I said, I think, from my perspective, that it's been really different across the board in some cases. Depending on the team that you're on, there might be heavy mentorship, and in one other team, not for ill intent, but just from a time constraint, there might not be any. So the leadership committee is going to offer that consistent support for everybody, but also going to make sure that we have diverse perspectives and just adding that additional layer of support, like I said. And really, at the end of the day, what the committee is there to do is offer that support, like I said. So they are going to be focused on, onboarding newer leaders, making sure that we're there from the beginning to the end, setting up the programs, offering that mentorship, that one-to-one. They're really going to be jumping in and offering the coaching framework calibrations. The great thing about that is the leadership committee is going to be broken up into individual groups. So Costa Rica is going to have their own mini committee, Philippines will have their own, so on and so forth. So we're able to actually target the needs of the actual site and location, have more enhanced calibration specific to those skill sets and the knowledge, but also come together as a committee and as a group once a month and collaborate and talk through some of those things. So there's going to be a lot of potential workshops coming in the future. There will be calibrations, there will be one-to-ones. There's going to be a lot of support when it comes to onboarding a newer leader, ensuring that you're not put in your position potentially to sink or swim. You have that additional layer of support. It's consistent.
Thanks for sharing that, and listen, I know the work that you've done over the last few weeks, and it feels like, I know you're just back from maternity, but it actually feels like you've been here for such a long time because you've achieved so much in that short time. And I've been involved as a partner in the evolution of this leadership development committee and the programs. I'm so excited to not only see you lead that, but obviously see the new initiatives for our leadership team. So thanks for all the efforts. Excited to see our flock continue to grow with some of the ideas that you've brought to the table.
Awesome, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's some new and enhanced tools coming as well within that committee. So there's some exciting things on the horizon.
Well, Anne, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate all that you do as just to piggyback off what Paul had said, all that you do for our leaders, all that you do for the team overall, and love the creativity and innovation that you bring, but also feeding off of the experience that you've had, both the things that you've worked through and learned lessons on as a leader, but also, things that have worked and those strengths that you have, and bringing those experiences forward has been so beneficial to creating the leader learning programs and this committee as well. So folks, for all of our viewers out there, if you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see for coffee time, please reach out to us at communications@billgosling.com. Thanks for joining, Anne.
Thanks, Anne.